Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Well. The Pop the Balloon show, man. The Pop the Balloon show is gold. It is gold, right? This is what a culmination of insane black men ain't ish, get it, girl, you the best thing that ever happened to planet Earth type of rhetoric. If he cared, he would type of rhetoric. Um, get the bag rhetoric. He ain't on your level. No struggle, love rhetoric. This is what a culmination of that looks like. Woo! So for those of you that clicked the first link, I timestamped it on where y'all should have started. It's around the 34 and 50 second mark. If you haven't checked it out yet, I suggest you guys do. Right? BGS getting on me. We're on ZPT time. Look, I was only a few minutes late. Late is late though. Late is late. You're right, BGS. And for those of you that checked out the link, if you haven't already, check it out. It's a few minutes long. But yeah, woo, jeez, man. Okay, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with the height thing? Do we want to start with the because he's from Alabama thing? Do we want to start with his wardrobe? Where do y'all want to start? Because the insults started immediately from when he walked in and the lady started popping the balloons. Look, Mr. Z ain't built for it. I'm built for rejection. I don't know if I'm built for it. And quite frankly, I don't think human beings are built for mass rejection in that way, especially seeing that we come from originally small little villages, small little groups of nomads, kind of, foraging for food. Slowly we move into little villages and then city states and then cities and then states and then whole nations and countries. Yeah, I don't think human beings are built to be rejected in your face by a dozen people at the same time. Like, right? And then in such a direct and jarring way, right? I love it. It's entertaining. It's a bit jarring, but yeah, and then the jarring part comes from the balloon pop, and you're hearing, you walk into a room and you're hearing 5, 6, 7 balloons pop just instantly, boom. Right? You didn't even open your mouth yet. Right? You didn't even put your foot in your mouth yet. You didn't say the wrong thing yet. You literally just walked in the room. Right? So the young brother, 34 years old, electrician, said he worked on automobiles also, blue collar from Alabama, right? So who y'all want to start with? Y'all want to start with the young lady in the white that's from New York? Toya, I promise you, Toya, the only reason I'm not going to rip Northeastern women to shreds this morning is because of you. The only reason I'm not going to tell Northeastern women how absolutely, and y'all talking to a person that has been to the Northeast at least a dozen times. The only reason I'm not going to tell them that that New York dudes come to the South to find wives. The only reason I'm not going to tell, especially New Yorkers, not just Northeasterners, but New Yorkers in particular, that y'all really ain't the smartest people on the planet, although y'all think y'all are, black women, really Northeasterners in general. You want to talk about a place that ain't built to have wives. Woo! That doesn't produce wives. Right? How are you from New York and you're supposed to be the intelligent and smart ones and the aware ones, and you hit this dude with the stereotypes from the jump, from the start? You hit him with, we hear that y'all have, what she said, have sex with your cousins, or you marry your cousin, whatever she said. You hit the brother from, first of all, that's a white stereotype, dumbass. She hit that brother with that almost instantly, and then the look on her face. First, black women rejecting black, this is your right as a human being and as a woman. We expect you to be seeking the best you can. That's not the issue. Women in general, Western women, black women, the issue is not the rejection. Homegirl started rolling her eyes from the jump when the brother started speaking, right? He wasn't even talking to her yet. She was already rolling her eyes. Thank you, right, Joe? Damn Yankees, right? She was rolling her eyes. The condescending tone, the I'm above you, you're beneath me, the snark, the attitude. Oh, whoever attempts to turn her into a wife, have fun. Whoever actually marries her, have fun. Woo! And what was she, 24? Right? If I'm not mistaken her for one of the others. Man. Mean, condescending, you're beneath me. Why? Because you're from New York and he's from Alabama? Why? Because the brother's quote unquote short? Then we get to the second sister that gotta kind of the silky hair, right? The quote unquote good hair, kind of copper skin, look like she might be mixed with something, right? Homegirl started going in on him also. Man, a little too short. My family would laugh. My family would say something. Wow, we come from a tall group of people. Wow. You're handsome though. Oh man, when the brother said pretty much, let's call it thing a thing. I like how he kind of jabbed at her. You look effable. You don't look like wife material, but you sexy though. And what did she say? But you better believe it. So are you saying you can't afford me? So you're saying you can't afford me? Oh boy, here we go. Black women be looking for any kind of way to condescend to you, to belittle you, and to tell you you're not on that level and you can't afford them. Until they're 40 something and men are like, you right, I can't afford you. That's why you've been single your whole life. That's why you don't got no kids. That's why you're not married. You're right, I can't afford you. Then they're gonna try to do it with the white men. White men pipe, give them a couple of nice dinners, if even, and send them back. So they're gonna do is that could afford you. Oops. Benson 954 zones are better than 305 zones. Yes, I want all the smoke. For those of you that don't know, if you're not from Florida, 954 is Broward County. That's the zip code for Broward County. Dade County is 305. Ben, stop it. There would be no Broward if it wasn't for Dade. Broward is like the spillover suburban area for the whole county of Dade. Shout out to Ben. Right? Broward is New Jersey to Dade's New York. Stop it. Notice I didn't even say Connecticut. I said New Jersey. Right? So you know, it this was good. This was good. Look, if you need to know why you had 40 and 50 something and even 60 something year old women calling into Kevin's show, that's because this was them 30 years ago. This was them 30 years ago. It's cute and it sounds nice, especially when you all, and this goes to what BGS was saying, right? When you with all your homegirls and y'all comparing notes and how y'all rejected dudes and how mean and snarky and rude you were when you rejected them, how insulting you were, how belittling you were when you rejected them, and y'all comparing notes and y'all really, it's a competition. How mean you were when you rejected. The little sly, slick stuff you said when you rejected those men. Not just, no, I'm okay, I'm not interested, the lie, I have a boyfriend, right? No, 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 no. We got to be mean when we reject. right? And we got to be mean when we reject. And if we get the same type of smoke back, then we got to double down. Ain't that right, young lady? What did she say? Oh, so you mean you can't afford me? That sounds nice. Dear women in general, black women specifically, that little cute, oh, you can't afford me thing because you think you trying to appeal to the rich dudes, the rich and the ballerific dudes. I've been around them. They hear you. They can smell you from a million miles away. They're gonna pipe and send you back. If you think the average dudes are comparing notes, you don't want to be around the baller dudes, especially the moderately okay looking dudes, all the way up. And by the way, I've been around the white ones and the black ones, a couple of Latinos, right? Then you have them speaking about the brother's clothes, and then he explained to you that he just came from what tailgating. And I feel him. He had a thing for the young lady with the dread. She was cute, got the little earthy vibe to her. But in women fashion, she said, "Well, I came from an event too." Where she said she came from work or something like that. She came from somewhere. But I went. I made sure to change and huh, huh. Oh, you got a this show right here. I'm about to start binging this. Oh, there's so much commentary. I'm gonna treat this how Ed treats the whatever show. Shout out to Edward Anderson. This is a culmination of what we've been saying. And to younger millennial men and Gen Z men, y'all know Mr. Z like apologizing. And it's not that I helped to create that, right? The reason why I apologize to the young brothers is because this environment is even more harsh than even when I was y'all age. I thought it couldn't get any harsher when I was 23 and 24 and 25 years old. And then I'm looking back at the mid 20-year-olds, and I know this brother was 34, but I'm looking back at the mid 20-year-olds and I'm like, oh my God, it got even worse. How is that even possible? Right? It got even worse. Right? The dating scene and the marriage scene got even worse. How is that even possible? And I think the brother played it smooth. He was laid back. He took his little jabs at them. But essentially there, and that's why I have the links of get on my level. And if you caught the first link I put after the main video, that what I would really want y'all to pay attention to was Meek Mill's, right? Levels. And what does Meek Mill said? You can't F them hoes because you're not on their level. You're not in their tax bracket. I know why I put that song and why I put it first. That was intentional. Right? The order I have those songs on in, excuse me, that's intentional. Meek Mill's intro to Levels is intentional. Huh? You can't pipe because you're not in their tax bracket. Now, here's the thing. The brother probably is earning more than most of those women there. But in their mind, they look at the brother, he's not tall enough for them. He seems too laid back. Now, in all honesty, I wouldn't have gone there dressed like that. Right? But you see the aura of I'm better than you. Dr. Umar, how are black men supposed to turn that into a wife? FD signifier, you want black men to what, be like Black Panther brothers from the past with in a community full of women like that? Forget just on a romantic level. Women like that think they're better than black men across the board. It's not just in the realm of intimacy. They think they're better than you in academia. They think they're better than you in their personality. They think they're better than you in the way the world perceives them. They think they're better than you and more intelligent than you and wittier than you and more resourceful than you. Period. I want y'all to understand much of the black manosphere, especially this space that I occupy of the black manosphere. Yes, we speak about black men and black women and intimacy and sex and relationships, but we use that to have a larger conversation about this type of demeanor that comes from black women. The you know I'm better than you, right? And these examples are perfect. The young lady with the short hair, all of them essentially looked at the brother and was like, "Oh yeah, we better than this. He ain't even tall enough." Before he even opened his mouth, you heard that what 5, 6 balloons go off. And black men are so used to being beat up, just like the other brother I reviewed a couple days ago. We should just bring it all the way down. Get ready for the nuclear rejection, the insults, the belittling. The you're not on my level. Just like the other brother was very chill and he took it in stride. This brother did also. Imagine being from Alabama. And by the way, Mr. Z went on a date once with a sister from the Northeast, and she was trying to pull the same stunt. She wasn't from New York though. The same. Oh yeah, y'all don't even value education down here in the South in Florida. Needless to say, that was the last date. Right? Huh. Thank you, Dre. Perfect comment. And Dre says, meanwhile, white boys are cleaning up in a Walmart fit and New Balances. David Carroll got something to say about that. Rest in peace. That white skin. That white skin, bro. Right? And Trail says an electrician can earn more than a doctor. And yeah, the sister was saying that, right? Essentially, I'm looking for someone better than you. You lowly blue collar loser. And that's why you saw Kevin kind of speak of blue collar men the way he did, because he could smell on black women in particular. This, I'm better than that. Those, once again, dusty Negroes. And as a blue collar dude, yeah, some of us get dusty. And we're earning more than the brother or maybe even the white man in white collar spaces. Ask me how I know I was in white collar spaces. All those women looked at that brother and said, we're better than that. And that's okay. I would love to see this. I would love for these same exact people, that brother and those women, I would love to see this in 20 years. I would love to see this in 20 years, 25 years. I would love it. And to the sister that hosts this show, take those names down. If you're still around in 20 years, bring every single one of these people. If they're still here, bring them back in 20 years. Huh? They sent that brother with no matches back home, which is okay. To that brother, I say, hey, don't take that the hard way. Don't listen. Those women ain't gonna last too long. Excuse me. They're not gonna last too long. Don't worry about it. Right? They're not. Average marriage, 5 years. Women are the ones that torpedo it. Right? From the jump, they started turning him down from the beginning when he walked in the room. And this is why I say let them talk. To the FDs of the world, to the Dr. Umar Johnsons of the world, to the Torres of the world, trying to recontextualize what Ebony K. Williams is saying when she telling you very blatantly what she on, huh? To the Alvins of the world and the Eddie of the world, let black women talk. Let women in general talk, but definitely let them talk long enough. See, for the first few minutes, when we get into the relationship conversation, they're going to tell you how black men are lacking in the sexism and the colorism and the featureism and the texturism, and just keep on letting them talk and help to direct that conversation. And eventually, we're going to get to no struggle love. Uh-oh. Eventually, we're going to get to they're not on my level. I'm better than that. Who want to be with average anyway? Why are we told to settle? White women aren't told to settle. Right? Let them talk long enough. Y'all let Bowser talk long enough, and you see the elitism. She could barely contain it anymore. You let Yanni talk long enough, right? You let Yanni talk long enough. She got her couple dollars. What'd she tell you? What's the incentive? What's the incentive? And decenter men, you let her talk long enough, and that's what we are. You let Kidology talk long enough, and now she want to engage in same-sex loving relationships, even though she knows now she's even further down on the bottom than she would have been in the straight world. Because if you think them white guys wasn't checking, huh, have fun with the white women. Huh? You let Paris Milan talk long enough, Boyce Watkins. You let Paris Milan talk long enough, and black men were all type of nakers. You let Cynthia G talk long enough, Tariq and Boyce Watkins, and it's abort black male babies. Just let them talk long enough. Right? Thank you, Ben. Exactly. And Ben says, but Mr. Z, this is just the internet. This doesn't happen in real life. This is real life. Those were real women, real black women, judging a real black man. It just happened to be on camera. That could have easily been a bar or a lounge or a club in the hood, and those women were standing around each other talking, and this brother just scooted his way in and be like, hey ladies, how y'all doing? And all of them go to looking at him. Just like the young lady in the white. She rolled her, the brother barely even spoke. She rolled her eyes. He didn't even say anything to her yet. She rolled her eyes. Right? That's the thing I need y'all to really, before he ever even spoke to her, she was already over it. Why do you have this lame in here? What is this peon doing in my presence? In my line of sight? I should, what? What an eyesore. Why is this peasant in my line of sight? Be gone, knave. Right? Wow. Looking down on the brother like one of these bougie ass vampires. Right? Name the movie. Wow. And all of them think they're better than him. Dear your everyday average black man, he's you. I want us to understand why I'm covering this. He is you. You everyday average brothers, he is you. That brother from Alabama is you. That is why them sisters act like that. That's what they say. That's what they think. You heard that 23-year-old? I gotta find that because I reference it all the time. That 23-year-old, excuse me, that Kevin spoke to, she was practically a day out of college. She said, "Who wants to be with average anyway?" Right? But all the ladies were saying that. Telescope says she was tall. She didn't like short men. Didn't need to be extra. Though, yeah. Well, I think I don't know if you're talking about the young lady in the white, or you're talking about the other one that kind of had like a bit of a different breed to her, a different skin tone and color, and right. That was the inner Caribbean in me that said breed. It sounded Jamaican right now, right? Right. Wow. So you have a bunch of black women, and they let you know. So this is what we saw in Kevin's show night after night, right? This is what we saw in Kevin's show night after night. 20-something-year-olds telling you who wants to be with average anyway. Now, what happens when we start talking to the 40-something-year-olds and the 50-year-olds? They start sounding like bell hooks. That's what happens. Mr. Z, what are you saying? I was looking for love, but everywhere I went, I found patriarchy. No, no, this was you 30 years ago. This was you 20 some odd years ago. You see it now. What is Z even saying? Claudia Jordan, when it comes to men, doesn't sound like she matured much. Vivica A. Fox doesn't sound like she matured much. Lisa Ray doesn't sound like she matured much. We're looking, those women in that room, particularly the women that this brother spoke to, that is Lisa Ray, that is Vivica A. Fox, that is Claudia Jordan 30 years ago, 20 some odd years ago. Thank you, Toya, in their 50s. Right? If you want to know why, Maya marrying herself and Tracy Ellis Ross is still single, and last time I checked, Brandy don't have nobody. Chili over here subsidizing the white dude from Boy Meets World. Was it Boy Meets World? It was one of those shows. Huh? That's because this was them 20 and 30 some odd years ago. Huh? What's homegirl that was married to Schrumpert? Are they still married, or they got divorced yet? Huh? I knew that wasn't gonna last too long. One time I watched a video, and I guess somebody was making her feel uncomfortable, or she felt like they were stalking her low key, and she didn't just send the security at him. She was damn near right next to security and like bucking at him and talking to him like a dude, like moving your shoulders and the posture, right? The outspoken introvert says separate. Okay, they're separated. Tiana, thank you, Tro. And she's beautiful. Tiana is I find her supremely attractive. But when you saw that posture and you saw her moving her shoulders and dun, 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 right? Oh, I didn't know that, Toya. Oh, that's what she was on. Okay, well, right? Okay, okay, all right. Thank you, compassionate. Thank you. Right? Because I saw her performance when she did the Little Kim at the award ceremony. I'm like, oh yeah, she actually is pulling that off really good. Like That is Kim. That's Kim. That's Kim from the '90s. That's definitely Kim. She looked more like Lil Kim than Lil Kim looked like Lil Kim from back in the days. There you go, see. And she pulled it off perfectly. And then you hear her speak. Wait, somebody said it too. Where is it? Right? Where's that comment? I just saw it. Okay, there you go. Yeah, the outspoken introvert until she speaks. Exactly. No, I did not, Azriel, and that says a lot. And Azriel says, "Did you see the video of Tiana's daughter disrespecting Iman Shumpert?" You know, there's something to be said about growing up as a woman, particularly a black woman, and your parents are famous and they're rich. And what is allowed, right? What you're allowed to say, how are you allowed to act? How are you allowed to speak to your parents, to your father? And how is that going to fly when you become an adult and you're out here and like, because you get to hide behind the fame and the money, right? What I hear is a bunch of spoiled brats that can only be with other spoiled brats. This is, well, we still in black women's hood terms. This is giving European aristocrat, right? You can only and so fine, be Simone. I hear you. Now you can only be with an entrepreneur. I hear you, right? And Vincent, John Doom says, and thank you for the super chat. They don't know or see their attitudes are trash, and they too loud, and they think they're clever. Unfortunate and tragic, brother. I don't think they care, right? It's like, you do what you can. You do what you can. I do what I want. It really is the what can you do with me? I'm better than you. I don't have to, and once again, negative liberty. I don't have to restrain myself. I don't have to comport myself a certain way. I don't have to, excuse me, I don't have to have the discipline to watch what I say and how I say it. I don't have to do that. You're beneath me, right? You're short, you're blue collar, you're not dressed well enough for me. You're from the South, you're from Alabama on top of that. I don't have to you are a speed bump. You are a bug that got that just hit my damn window. I'm about to right? Put on these wiper blades and the windshield wash, right? So I hear what you're saying, Vince, but and when women hear, "Oh, America doesn't produce wives anymore," they like to pretend like what they're hearing is, "Oh, so you're trying to say you want the slaves? You want the women barefoot and pregnant? You want women not to talk? You want slaves?" No, we want women that don't act like this. Especially in the black community, women speak like, if I can't act like this, then you want me to be a slave. Ain't no space in between. If I can't talk to you like this, if I can't act like this and be patted on the back for it on top of that, then you're telling me you want me barefoot and pregnant and not talking. Right? Wow. Look how they were in so. Hey man, y'all hear Mr. Z said all the time. Whichever one of you brothers decide to turn, especially those 3 or 4 that we're talking, whichever one of y'all try to turn those into wives, have fun. They showed you who they are. And Mr. Z is definitely the type where if I see a young lady, even if I find her attractive, even if she find me attractive, if I hear or see you being an a-hole to another dude, to another person, if you talk to the waiter crazy, oh, it's done. It's done. I know a lot of dudes, especially rich dudes or dudes with a little bit of money or good looking dudes, y'all overlook that. And she ain't gonna do that to me. All right. Right. She ain't gonna talk to me like that. Okay. Wow. Thank you. That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. Where is that comment? Dre's comment just disappeared on me. There you go. And Dre says, Z, I told my ex last night I'm raising my daughter to be a wife, and she said I want her to be a slave when she grows up. Logic. No, tell her you don't want her to be destitute. Tell her you don't want her to be the. Tell your ex you don't want your daughter to be the pass around for dudes that are going to be trying to play her and use her. You can't tell her you don't want her to be like her mom. Don't say that. Don't say that. It's tempting. It's tempting. I know. We all thought it. We all thought it. Don't say that though. Don't say it. Don't even imply it. Don't suggest it. We all thought it. We all thought it. Right. Don't say it. And tell her like all the numbers show married people do better. Period. Point blank. Done. And if you want to put a nice positive spin on it, I want my daughter to have somebody to live this life with, to walk this life with. Right. All that hyper individuality mixed with neoliberalism and hyper consumerism got black women and just women in the West looking dumb. Right. Just dumb. Those young ladies, what, one of them was 24. I don't recall if I caught the age of the other ones. Listen to how they speak. And look at the brother, from what I could see, and talking about featureism and texturism. Y'all saw who he was really attracted to? The sister with the dreads. He told you the little mixed one with the breed, the little whatever copper tone with the silky hair. If that's her real hair, he told you, yeah, you look sexy. You look like, that's the category I would put you in. But look at the one that he really was invested in trying to get. Well, that texturism talk. What happened to all the texturism talk? Huh? Huh? Right? What's going on, Kareen? And Kareen says, please review Fannie Willis trial. She is textbook a-hole boss girl. The arrogance, nastiness as a DA was shocking. Everything you say was on display in the courtroom. Yeah, and I think I saw AB. I think AB covered it a little bit. Let me see. How do I want to do this? I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm gonna watch A. No, because I don't want AB's review to kind of mess with what I might say. Huh. I'm gonna watch it, and I might invite AB for us to have a conversation because because I saw the thumbnail for AB. AB Media 83. For those of you that are not subscribe to that brother. He stays on his politics, right? Y'all listen to AB Media 83. Right. So yeah, I'm yeah. Kareen, for you, yeah. But Kareen, you Northeasterners, Kareen. Homegirl from New York was a whole a-hole with the white dress. If you don't know what I'm talking about, click the link and I timestamped it. Right. And I really want to focus on that. This holier than thou. Every time I say that, Charles says Yankees. Damn Yankees! That holier than thou, I'm better than you, I'm smart. She really said, I hear y'all be what, marrying your cousins or marrying your sibling, whatever she said. She really said that to a black man. She really said that to a black man. And then act like she said it like she knows that's what happens with black people. Black people. Black people. Right? So it's good to see that black New Yorkers took on the elitism of white New Yorkers. That's good to know. Anybody want to tell me what's the median household income for black New Yorkers? Y'all want to be so elite. What do y'all earn? What do y'all make? Is that elitism warranted? Huh? Aren't y'all being gentrified off of the island of Manhattan right now as we speak? Does Bed-Stuy still look like Bed-Stuy of Biggie's era? Ooh, Z, ooh, you hear? Ooh, Z. Don't y'all got people like Jay-Z selling y'all out? Ooh, Z, goddamn Z. Huh? Mercy still look like how it used to? Y'all running to Brooklyn and they're running right behind y'all gentrifying Brooklyn too. What are you talking about? Alabama. I guarantee you probably could survive a month in Alabama, a week, a day. BGS said black women lack manners. It's appalling. BGS, it's bad. He was so laid back. The brother was so, and what I like about how this is going is you can see with this brother and with the other one that I reviewed, they don't give no type of a-hole vibes. Very laid back. They're not Z, right? They ain't speaking fast. They're not gonna hit you with, oh, you think you smart, huh? Watch this. That's not how them brothers responded to those women, even with the insults. And look, even when he did the subtle jab, they're about to blow. You're talking back. Provide what homegirl said on Daily Wrap Up Crew. Provide, protect, and shut up. Or you're talking back. Oh, you talking back. And that's how they're responding to him, right? Wow, man, that's crazy. That's and grab second gear says facts BGS, self awareness and rude, right? So he said lack self awareness and rude, but do they? I don't think they care. This is what I'm trying to emphasize. Do I think some lack self awareness? Of course. But I think some, it doesn't matter if I'm rude to you, if I'm better than you. You can't do anything about it. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's what fuels, shout out to the nameless protagonist, and that's what animates this, right? I'm better than you. It doesn't matter if I'm rude to you. I'm a black woman. And I occupy white collar spaces. Even if I earn or don't earn as much as you, it doesn't matter. I'm black. I'm from the Northeast. I'm a woman. I might be college educated. I'm better than you. I'm better than you by the fact that um merely by the fact that I'm XX chromosome and you're XY. So I'm better than you just from that. Then when you add everything else, I might be college educated, you're not. I'm from the Northeast. I'm in white collar spaces, right? I'm better than you. So the self-awareness, yes, maybe, kind of, maybe not. But it doesn't matter if I'm better than you. I don't have to have self-awareness when I'm stepping on ants. I don't have to be aware of the ants I'm stepping on when I'm stepping on them. The only time it becomes an issue is if a red ant bites me back, and then I just swat it, kill it, and scratch that bump for a couple days. That's it. I said Toya. That's funny. Compound niggerants. No, for real though. BGS hysterical. BGS is they know about the humiliation. It's black women's version of gup. I'll just say that. Black women's version of gup. Right. Wow. Wow. So so I'm reviewing this because I want us to be aware of the fact that this is Claudia Jordan 30 years ago. This is Vivica A. Fox 30 years ago, 20 some odd years ago, right? Lisa Ray 20 some odd 30 years ago. Maya and them 20 some odd years ago, right? This is them. And what you saw, tall, shorter, heavy set, svelte, natural short hair, long silky hair, 3C, 4C, it didn't matter. All these black colorism and texturism and featureism, all these sisters were like, yeah, nah. He walked in the room, balloon pop, balloon pop, balloon pop. Didn't even say anything. Spare me your talk about texturism and featureism. And then if you go through the comments, one of the highest rated comments is a brother saying all these women talking about essentially, I'm paraphrasing, essentially discrimination. They're discriminating against the brother for his height, but if somebody says something about the weight, then and you go through the comments and there are women that are trying to call please. Now there are women that agree with him. I will give them that. But then there's a difference. Yeah, the difference is he can't do anything about his height, but you could do something about that weight. Right? Dre, and that's what I'm saying. And Dre says, all that balloon popping sound like a war zone. I'm saying it's jarring. And I don't know if human beings were built for that level of rejection all at once in your face. That balloon popping was what 5, 6, 7 balloons. You walk in the room and yes, it's the balloon popping, but you know why. It's and yes, these brothers sign up for it. They're auctioning themselves off practically. Right? BGS said, don't compare these average chicks to Lisa Ray 20 years ago. No, I'm saying like the same attitude that I'm better than this. I'm better than you. Why are you even in my line of sight? BGS said, them peons, don't compare them to Lisa Ray. Woo! And Ben says Z seems to have missed the slim, dark skin one and the green outfit from the previous one. Is that the one that ended up? Wasn't there one? To me, she was a cute sister, but she had curves to her. She had a short haircut, and she got chose. So the same video, the actual extended reel, the actual one, with a other brother that I reviewed a couple days ago. Homegirl with the black dress, she was curvy. She got chose by the brother. They end up matching. I don't know if that's who you're talking about. She had a short haircut, chocolate sister, right? She sounded maybe well. Was she from Cali? Sounded like she was from the West Coast. I don't know if that's the one you're speaking of. Maybe I got to go back and watch. Okay, he said not that one. Okay, I got to go back and watch. Right? BJ said, how much were they paid to do this? Trail said, Daughters of the Dust. Right? And I'm not trying to beat up. I'm telling you, the only reason I'm really not going in on Northeastern black women is because of Toya and now Kareem. That's the only reason. Because goddamn, the elitism. For what are black women in New York, in New Jersey, in Connecticut, in Massachusetts, in Vermont, in Rhode Island, in Pennsylvania, in Maryland? Are y'all doing that great? Y'all doing that great, huh? All this elitism talk. I'm not saying there's not black people with a few dollars in the Northeast. We know. First of all, that's not the largest population of black people. Secondly, are y'all doing that great? Third, y'all be complaining a whole lot about the small hats up there. Y'all be complaining a whole lot about the Arabs up there, about the South Asians up there, about the East Asians up there. Doesn't sound like a group of people that's really kicking ass. Your racist white female bosses. Doesn't sound like a whole lot of people that's really kicking ass. Anubis says, I'm in the Northeast. I'm in the Northeast. These chicks are broke. I know they are. And much of this talk about level and them applying that, implying, excuse me, not applying, but implying that they're better, that they're from a better quote unquote stock. Yeah, we're going to eugenics talk. They're from a better stock of people. A lot of that is to gas y'all up to pay more for them. Right? These women at best were raised extra average, come from an extra average black family. At best, very few, I would argue, upper middle class people. But they're going to sell you on that they're better, so that you could pay more, so you could spend more, so you could beg more, so you could blow money trying to prove, quote unquote, prove. And it's the same thing that, when BGS speaks about Sierra and Future, right? He's the one that was attempting to prove himself to her. That's how these women get you. No, I'm from this group of people, and my dad did this, and I work here, and I graduated from this prestigious institution, and these are my friends and my associates, and I've been here, and I've been to Cabo, and I've traveled Europe, and I've went backpacking here, and look at my baby Benz that I could barely afford. Look at where I live, this upper middle class neighborhood that I could barely afford. And all of that is to say, yeah, Negro, if you want me, you better come with the money. Don't worry if I let Tyrone smash for free. That's not the point. Don't worry if I let Brad smash for free because I was hoping that he was going to pay eventually. That's not the point. But you? And I referenced the whatever show earlier. It wasn't black women. Well, actually, there was a sister on that episode that I watched. Actually, yes, there was. Right, slim sister with the fro, kind of cute. And the host of the whatever, what's his name? Adam, I think I can't remember his name. The host of the whatever show is trying to emphasize to women that when you make one guy wait while you let the other dude smash on the first night or within the first week or whatever, and you have this other guy waiting and he got to jump through hoops, how insulting that is to that one guy. So you could say that you find him as relationship material, and you're gonna make him wait 2, 3, 4 months, but the other dudes got to smash first night, first week type thing. How insulting that is to men. This is not about women's feelings. This is not about how women interpret it. They always want to tell you how you should interpret. No. I'm not telling you that you should tell me how I should think about it. No. I'm telling you what it is from a man's perspective. Tying that to what I'm saying over here, when these ladies lie to you and try to gaslight you about where their quote unquote standards are for you, then you might catch a picture of their ex on their social media, or you hearing stuff about, oh yeah, she used to deal with such and such down the street. He's a whole D boy. He's a whole scammer, right? As a matter of fact, she used to bust licks with this nigga. But you're supposed to be Paymaster 3000 and be respectable, huh? And Lithium says they're moving to the south or only have it like that, like because of government and or teaching jobs. Yeah, there's a lot of Northeasterners moving back to the south. As a matter of fact, they're calling it what, the reverse Great Migration, something like that. And Cali too. White folks figure it out. Oh, we don't worry. Yeah, we're gonna still kill y'all here and there, still harass y'all here and there. But no, I know it. We'll just drive the prices of everything up. We'll just price you out. Hi, black people. Buy black people. Huh? We'll just price you out the game. Replace you with black immigrants for a generation or two, and then price them out the game too. Huh? And Anubis, exactly. And Anubis, as a matter of fact, thank you for the super sticker on top of that. And Anubis says, and I'll read this as the comment. Anubis says ATL is full of NYC transplants from the 90s. So is Florida. So is Florida, right? Really, from Orlando down, they're all over Florida. They're all over Dade, Broward, Palm Beach County. They're all over Orlando, that Orlando Daytona area. A whole lot of Latinos, Puerto Ricans coming down, moving to Orlando. Black and children of black immigrants and all coming down to Florida. They can't really afford Miami. They're kind of in Broward. They can't afford Miami. Miami been unaffordable for a minute. So they're moving to Broward County, which is slowly becoming unaffordable too, and Palm Beach County, right? Did y'all know we got the snowbirds and the old white folks, right? The Q-tips, and they're all in Tampa, in that Tampa area, in the Naples area, St. Pete area. Right? And I know for a lot of Cali, they move into Texas, right? And yet these people have the unmitigated gall to be talking crazy and talking down to black men from Alabama. Wow. As if you're elite. That's the thing. As if you're that much better than this brother. You don't have to be and I want to be very clear, ladies, this is not about forcing you to be attracted to someone you're not attracted to, forcing you to say yes to someone you don't find attractive. That is not where Mr. Z is going. What I am saying though, right, is it is insulting to play this region, what would we call a region racist? Not racist, regionist. We making up words, right? It wouldn't be xenophobic, would it? It's not xenophobic. What would we call that? Where you live in the same nation as someone, but you're kind of discriminatory because they're not from the same region of the nation that you're from. Regionalist. Indigo said regionalist, right? Trail said regionist. And then you hit a black man with, I hear y'all marry your cousins. Oh boy, you're supposed to be the smart one, lady. Okay, better you said xenophobia could be regional. So okay, okay, you're supposed to be the smart one. That's why you. Oh, I heard from Alabama, and I know, and then I've been to Alabama. Oh, yawn, right? Oh yeah, low key darkness, and of course the classism. Oh, they hit that brother with so much classism because, well, here's the thing: low key darkness. But aren't black women in a better class than black men? She's only exhibiting the behavior from the class that she's in. She's a black woman. You and him are black men. You are beneath her. She's speaking to him the way she's supposed to speak to him as a black woman. As a black woman, she's supposed to talk down to him. I mean, he's only a black male. Notice I didn't say man there. He's only a black male, and he's a black male from the South and from the deep South. Oh yeah, he's supposed to be spoken down to. I should have said it the way I wanted to say it originally. Talking down to. You know, I'm from the South, so I can't speak. Can't put my words together. Can't form cogent ideas. None of that. Right? I mean, I am Haitian descent, but I am from the South. So I guess I'm supposed to marry a cousin now. Right? So I'm supposed to marry a cousin and practice voodoo? Right? And I'm not supposed to know how to count. I really suck at math, but I'm not supposed to know how to count. You know, we're just going off of the stereotypes. Right? And I'm not supposed to know how to pronounce words. And then y'all wonder why, shout out to Big Crit, why Big Crit emphasizes his Southern accent. Then y'all wonder why, especially in hip hop, Southern Negroes will never let y'all forget how New York Negroes used to talk about them. Shout out to all my New Yorkers that are hip hop heads, and y'all don't buy into this, you know, Southern rapish trash thing. But the reason why you see us act the way and speak the way we do, particularly Southern rappers, is because of mentality like this. It's because of mentality like this. What we working on, 3, 4, 5 generation, the Great Migration, and yet y'all being kicked back down to the South. All that money y'all supposedly accumulated, all that education y'all supposedly accumulated, all that status y'all supposedly accumulated, and y'all being priced out back to the South. And then got the unmitigated gall to talk down to a brother from Alabama. The audacity. Wrong word, Z. The femdacity. Compassionate said, you Bamas. Right? Jason, I don't like your speak. Exactly. Yeah, right, Cheryl. Exactly. I researched Alabama. I forgot she said that. Why did you remind me, Cheryl? I researched Alabama. Stop, lady. Stop talking. Wow. So, yeah. So, Dr. Umar, stop telling us to marry women like this. Stop going to shows like Daily Wrap Up Crew and chastising and disciplining or attempting to discipline brothers for not turning women like this into wives. And what that Pop the Balloon show is going to show you, what we need to archive these things so that in 20 and 30 years, when your daughters are talking crap in your head, or when one of your daughters fall into one of these feminist classes and then come back home during the summertime, during Christmas time, asking you why her mama is Latina and were you one of the dudes that was chasing after Latina women, and why is she mixed, and why don't you have a dark skin or a black wife? You could show her one of these and be like, yeah, this is why. This is this is what we're supposed to show Dr. Umar Johnson when he talking all that crap. And Alvin when he talking all that crap. Huh? FD signifier knows this exists. FD, let me tell you, if the black community is full of women like this, black men ain't lifting nothing. Once again, I'm not just speaking about intimacy and sex. If the black community is full of black women like this, y'all can have it. Have fun on that sinking ship. Condescending, mean, snarky a-holes. Right? So it's more than just, someone said, oh, there you go. And Compassionate says Umar is a matriarchal representative. The ends justify the means, like the lobbyist. The problem with Umar is it's not even just matri. That's why we call it gynocracy. It's even worse than matriarchy. It's not even matriarchs that understand, okay, we got to take care of the boys too. We got to look out for the men too. Okay, yeah, if we're going to be the leaders, we got to look out for the men and the boys too, because we still need them. We can't be disrespectful. We can't be condescending. We can't be mean. We're going to need them too. We need them to play their part also. We can't just insult and belittle them, right? And ration out some vagina for the ones that we actually find appealing and attractive. All the rest of them could catch us on the other side of 45. Right? And Jake says, drop the like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. So it's even worse than matriarchy. These women wouldn't be matriarchs. These are gynocrats through and through. You can't afford me. Homegirl, not the one in the white dress, the other one. Oh, so are you saying you can't afford me because you wanted to say that from the jump? You wanted to say that from the beginning. Women like that look for reasons to be like, oh, so are you saying that I'm better than you? Are you saying you can't afford me? I think brothers need to lean into that. When black women are you saying that you can't afford me? Yeah, you're right, I can't afford you. I can't. Nope, I can't. Have fun finding the man that can though. Are you saying that you can't afford me? What type of flex? And that's what they really tell themselves. That is really what black women in particular tell themselves. This is why they're so incensed with black men. Right? This is why they're so incensed with black men. You would be rich. You would be Mark Zuckerberg. You would be Jeff Bezos. But you're not trying because you don't think black women are deserving of this lush life. Black women in luxury. The only reason black men aren't doing it is to spite black women. Remember, only 50 some odd 60 years out of Jim Crow. And you were supposed to be Jeff Bezos. You were supposed to be Bill Gates. You were supposed to be Mark Zuckerberg. You have black women talking about you can't afford me. Are you saying you can't afford me? So you can afford me like a flex. No, better you. She really said that. Not homegirl in the white. The second chick that he spoke to. What a third. The third one with the kind of more silky hair, right? So you're saying you can't afford me? She really said that. She really said that, and she meant it, right? And that's a flex, right? That's the flex. The flex is to say, and remember, it's never I'm single because I'm a terror to be in a relationship with. I'm single because I'm mean and snarky and an a-hole. Because I want a man to help me to live my best consumerist, materialistic life. That's not why I'm single. No. I'm single because these men can't afford me. I'm single because these men are not on my level. I'm single because I couldn't find the right white collar man, white collar black man, white collar white man. That's why I'm single. I'm single because these men are not on my level. Not because I'm delusional, not because I'm mean, not because I'm snarky. None of that. Right? Wow. to to the Gen Z coming up behind us millennials, Gen Z black men, it's personal, but don't take it personal. It's personal, but don't take it personal. Whether they know better or not is not your concern. You move accordingly. I'm not going to tell y'all not to date black women. I prefer black women. But the second you smell this, there's no point in going back and forth. There's no point in trying to justify yourself. There's no point in trying to explain why you're dressed the way you are, why you speak the way you do, even defend your region of the country. You just, all right, you're right. Have fun with your endeavors and keep it moving. Know that in the long run, you're gonna win. You don't have to listen. You don't have to go back and forth with black women like this, because you know, for the most part, you know the marriage rate. You know what the likeliness that they're gonna end up with the non-black dude is. You know that um, Morgan Stanley is salivating over the fact that so many of them are gonna be single, and they're gonna be spending money on little trinkets to subdue the loneliness. The Rose Toy Company, whatever company it is that make the Rose Toy stock, is probably at a zillion. And you take solace in that. You don't, and there's no point. There is no point. Let black women like this throw their temper tantrum with each other when they realize that black men ain't checking. And all their dreams of, interracial bliss are dashed, by reality. Right? I get what his brother was and he did a good job. He's very laid back sounding. And he took those jabs with stride. Right? And you can see the difference between the men that the women find attractive and the men that the women don't. The men that the women do not find attractive, they're not just, yeah, not my type. They got to be mean, because for them, it's like, how dare you talk to me? I don't want to be associated with you. I don't want the brothers and the men that I find attractive, I don't want them to think that I like men like you. that I find men like you attractive. Ew, get away. I didn't want to spray bug spray on this brother. Well, look at the different. It is fascinating listening to women who can recall being little girls and the way they treat me when they're not attracted, the way men and black men treat you when they're not attracted to you. Ladies, we got you on camera. I remember a couple years ago they were making such a big deal about Rick Ross was on a show, or he was part of the show or somehow, and he's attempting to pick a R&B singer or something like that, and he picked the more lighter skinned black woman over the darker skinned black woman, and Ross pretty much said, "Yep, I'm attracted to you," and black women threw a damn fit, and it's like, but y'all are doing the same thing. Oh, but it's different when we do it. Okay, yeah, that's it. Right? Like Bowser said on her Twitter, when black women date out and when white men date out, it's not the same. Excuse me. When black women date out, oh, see, Freudian slip. When black women date out and when black men date out, it's not the same. Huh? Once again, that moral high ground. Exactly. Exactly, Indigo. That cosmic justice thing. These people are insane. The level of snark we saw here, the level of just callousness we saw here, the rudeness, especially from Homegirl with the white on the white. What is that? A white dress? She was rolling her eyes practically when he walked in. He barely said a word. When he started speaking, she was just disgusted. He didn't have to be. She was going to find a reason to say something negative anyway. It's not just because he's from Alabama. And that's okay. It's okay to not be attracted to someone. It's okay to not be attracted to a random black man. Dear black women, stop pretending like that's the issue. The issue is that you're an asshole. I don't got to call you the B word because actually it's worse. You're an asshole. And you like being that. Deal with the consequences of it, though. And if the consequences don't come today, and you're like, Z, that stupid dude on the internet, da, 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 da. Okay, fine. 20 years later, I saw a clip of um accountable commentary, and he showed I think two or three black women apologizing to black men, and on his side he's like, yeah, they're apologizing now, and that's two black women. I'm not gonna really even count that, but what he did emphasize that made a really that really stuck the point, which is they're saying all the things we say. They're saying the two women, the three women, I think it was two that apologize. They're literally saying what they're apologizing for. It's all the things that black men are saying that's an issue. And Dave East says, "What brother did they do dirty?" I have it in my It's the link is in the description. It's the first video I have linked, and I think he walks in around the 34 and a half, 34-50 second mark. Started around the 34 minute and 50 second mark, and yeah, and that's my point, Ishmael. And Ishmael says that lets you know that they are conscious. Yeah, that lets you know. That's my point. That's my point. Right. Thank Trail. Thank you. And the young lady says, I come from a family of tall men, and if I brought him home, then they would ask, "What are you doing?" Wow. She didn't say anything about his profession. Straight height. There's a is it on TikTok? There's a video, and I want to say she's an African sister, and she says, me, and she's almost like doing a seance, right? Praying to God. She was like, me when I was younger, praying to God to give me, I think she said 6'2" or 6'3" man, right? And it's written in print. And then she says me now, and she's with a brother, I think he's like 5'7" or something like that, 5'8". And like, I'm pretty, and it looks like they're married or whatever, or they're, very serious relationship, probably gonna be marriage. And like, she looks kind of happy, but a part of me is like, you try to hold the positivity. You're like, oh, that's good, that's nice. She got her mind right. But a part of me like, no, you settled. I'm sorry to be that morbid, right? I'm sorry it's that sobering. No, you didn't come to epiphany. Them tall dudes wasn't checking, or them tall dudes was putting you through it, right? Call a thing a thing. You ain't have a change of heart. I'm sorry. Yes, ladies, I know that people do have a change of heart. People do mature. People do have an epiphany. Yes, that is true. It's absolutely true. That includes women. Mr. Z is not saying that. But much of it is not that. You kept on probably, you kept on running into the wall that the 6'2" and 6'3" dudes were bing, 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 and done. Next. Huh? I've said this before, and Jake says black men hate black women, but yet everyone sees black women are unbearable. Black Twitter doesn't need a password to access. Bro, when you watch the commercial for the black tea, right, and all you see from the skin tone of the sister, when you see how just calming the movie presents, at least from the commercial, and you see the subtlety, right? And what we can see from the movie is somewhat looks like a slow build up to their quote unquote love. It literally is everything black women have been complaining about, particularly on social media for the past decade or so. Thank you, Joe. Black tea is gonna be lit. Yeah, I saw those comments. Right? It literally is everything black women have been complaining about on social media about their representation or lack thereof over the past decade. It's you gotta know these screenwriters and movie writers and the black folks and non-black folks are snooping in, reading the comments, and be like, "Oh yeah, we could do that. Is that gonna move the needle? Probably not. But oh yeah, we could give you that validation prawn. Oh yeah, we could give you that." Thank you, Dave. See what I'm saying, Davey? And Davey says they popped the balloon straight away. Damn, exactly. Keep watching. Keep watching. Right. And then when you even look at the show that I referenced, where I referenced yesterday, where they're going through the Victorian era or the Regency era, and then it's kind of one of these matchmaking shows, and the black woman is who these guys are trying to court, and it just screams once again black women complaining that no one courts them in this way, essentially rich white women from yesteryear. And so that's what the show is given. I think shout out to the Raj report. Raj called it psycho crack. Psychological crack. And white society will get, okay, fine. Oh, that's what black women, we're gonna get some money off of black women? Fine. Yeah. That Bridgerton fantasy BS. Yes, absolutely. Wow. So that's all it is. And yeah, you're gonna have screenwriters and movie writers, and because black women have made it so evident that begging they're begging for this type of validation. for this type of portrayal of them as the object of non-black men's desire. Emphasis on non-black men's desire. Right? So Sarge Willie Pete is 100% right about that. And Chrissy has said it also. This is not about getting black men. It doesn't count if it's just black men that are interested. No, you need non-black men to be trying to murder each other in the middle of the streets to get to that chocolate. And I said it like that on purpose. Isn't that how the white dudes be referring to y'all? Right? Lithium says, time to call these American black women dusty and socially retarded. The Rogers Report already said they're the ones that's really socially awkward. Right? They're the ones that's truly socially awkward. Although we levy socially awkward on black men. And Anubis, I'm not saying Anubis, sorry Anubis. And Indigo Flow says, and thank you for the super chat, they're getting their reward in full. I hope they enjoy the moment. We'll see. Because they don't learn from the black women of the past. And some of that is their fault. And some of it is not, because the black women in the past don't tell them the truth. Vivica ain't telling them the truth. Claudia Jordan is not telling them the truth. See, one thing you gotta give the white women. That's one thing you have to. That one thing I will say, the white, at least heterosexual women, the older ones that tell them, "Oh, look, I messed up here." Like and you see, and I hate that I'm watching white folks be so in tune with the environment to the point where you got white feminists telling white women, hey, if you're heterosexual, if you're a straight woman, don't do what I did. A lot of my generation, we didn't have kids, right? We never got married. We kind of regret it, right? By the time you're realizing it, you're right up against that wall, geriatric pregnancy. I'm watching white women, and every time a black woman even lightly, slightly, kind of, sort of imply that, what ends up happening? Another black woman checks her ass. Y'all don't believe me? What BGS covered yesterday with the different black women talking, the two different black women talking on that interview, and one of them just was straight up, yeah, let's be honest, them white dudes ain't checking like that. Both of them they're both professionals. I think both of them were academics. One of the black women said straight up, look, because they went to, they always got to go here. Well, we're not limited to just black men. They went there, and one of the sisters said, hey, okay, let's slow our roll just a little bit. We got to remember, them non-black dudes ain't checking like that. And the other sister was like, no. We got choices over there. Translation, you can't let the black men know that we're limited. Don't say that. Definitely don't say it out loud. So the one sister that just was like, hey, listen, yeah, we could say this, but non-black dudes ain't really checking like that. Let's not forget what country we live in. All right, let's not be dumb. Let's not be dumb. Let's not be obtuse. And the other said, no, we got choices. They're checking. Stop. Translation, don't say that out loud. The Negroes might hear you. We got to keep the hope alive. You thought they were saying keep hope alive. And it was supposed to be, encouraging black people to keep on going. Yawn, not. It's for that white peen. When black women say it, right? When black women say it, they're not talking about keeping hope alive, right? And y'all give me a second. I know I'm borging right now. Give me a second. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me better now. But yeah, so that's what it is. Wow. So I say all that to say, the narrative in the black community when it comes to black women and this, interracial stuff and where they're gonna go from here, it's one thing. Them attempting to lie to black men about all of these choices and options, right? Even though Steph Co told you she got burnt on the interracial thing. Has Chrissy said that? Has Chrissy been honest about that? No. Chrissy, you've been swirling. From our understanding, you've been swirling since you were a teenager. You ain't never tell nobody anything about. Hey, look, man. All she tell you is, if one of these guys say something racist, I'm gone. I'm out of there. Yeah, whatever. Right? Sounds nice. Wow, Jake. Wow. And Jake says, I had a white man ask me, is the weave thing supposed to smell like that? Whew. Notice he asked you that, not a black woman. These white men don't care about hair like that. They don't care about hair texture like that, and they don't care about this. And you get to be yourself. And yeah, all right, Ostefco, all right. I said it before. The white guys just don't say that stuff around y'all. They don't say that. Okay, fine. I'll grant you this for argument's sake. The white guys present better. They know not to say it to your face. I don't even agree with that, really. But for argument's sake, let's just say that was true. That doesn't mean they don't care. Oh, Stefco, you don't even realize what you said. These white guys don't care about hair. And then you say, the interracial thing burnt me. That's because they were all smashed. They don't care about your hair and how unkept it is and the hair texture if they're just going to smash. If you're not long term, you're the one that has the wedding bells going off and the mixed baby, not them. They don't care about your hair texture if you're not going to be here past 6 months, 9 months, maybe a year. Y'all think just because a couple of the white dudes are okay with being seen with you in public, that's going to equal marriage eventually. Not. Because he brings you to the family home, that means that it's going to equal marriage eventually. Not. Do I need to remind y'all of what Tariq Nasheed covered, the sister, I want to say it was in Canada, that wrote the thing about how her during COVID, college, she went to her white boyfriend's home with him. They're excuse me, they're not quarantining, but they're there because the school got closed down, obviously. Boyfriend sends her downstairs to go get the charger. Remember, white mom and dad smiling all in her face. All throughout the day, they smile into her face. When she goes down, she sneaks downstairs to go find the phone charger, and she overhears the white mom and white dad. I don't know what he's doing with her. Well, he better not marry her. What y'all think? What did you think? Man, y'all better stop playing. So Ostefko, all that, well, you can take it easier with them and they don't care about the hair texture and that. That sounds nice. Until you realize that way more white men have had sex with black women than black women's actual interracial marriage rate. Not that 12, 13%, but the 4% of y'all that are actually married to a white man. Out of all black women, marriageable age black women, 4 or some odd percent of black women are married to a non-black man. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 4% that are married to a non-black man, or is it 4% that are married to white men specifically? Are we trying to say only that amount of black women have had sex interracially to non-black men? Stop it. Thank you, Lithium. They use certain terms that sound innocuous but aren't, but they don't pay attention. And Detroit says actually 5%. It's just crazy. And Cheryl says they don't care about your hair because they are not waking up next to you. They smash and then get their ish and go home. But even if they are okay, fine. Even if they are, they live together for, I don't know, a year in an apartment. What that mean? That don't mean anything. Talk to me when he marries you. Then we could maybe have a conversation. All these black women, yeah, I date non-black men. What does that mean? You get piped by them? What does that even mean? Yeah, I've been out with a few non-black men. What does that mean? And I see a couple of them in the downtown areas of certain places I'm at, and it's just so mismatch, right? It's so you could tell. I'm not saying the sister is necessarily hood or whatnot, but you could tell like, oh, this don't look like it's gonna last. Y'all don't even look like y'all come from the same time. It doesn't even look like the type of white dude that would appreciate the type of black you are. It don't even look like it's not the okay, a hood white dude with a hood sister, or more white collar white dude that grew up a certain way and that sister just happened to grow up in that same type of neighborhood or that same type of environment. No, you could see the not just the racial difference. And when I say class difference, I'm not just speaking about just the economics. You could see just the difference in the way they're talking, and then you're like, oh, I hope you don't have any idea. I hope you don't have no thoughts in your mind that this is going to turn into anything more than slide through. Right? It's like, I think, who's the best? I can give me a second. I'm gonna think of the name that to like give you. It's like Jared Kushner dating. We mentioned Tiana Taylor earlier. Would I use Tiana Taylor? Huh. It's like Jared Kushner dating. Who would I want to use on the other side of that? Not Sexy Red. That's too hood. Not Sukiyana. That's way too. That's too far. Jared Kushner dating. What's the name of homegirl that used to date Lil Durk? That used to date Durk. What's her name? The little chocolate sister that had the short haircut. It's like Jared Kushner dating her. Dej Loaf? Dej Loaf. Dej Loaf. Right? Or Dreezy. Right? And like that, I promise you, I remember it because it stuck out so much like a sore thumb. And it's like, okay, I don't know the inner workings of your situation, but something just okay, it is. I am right. Okay, thank you, Jake. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Ismail. Yeah, I think she's cute too. Right? Or Dreezy, the other sister. I think is Dreezy out of Chicago too? Or is Dej Loaf? I'm gonna say one of them is like from that like Midwest kind of, right? Or is both of them? I might be mistaken where they're from, but I think like one, if not both of them, are like from that region of the country. No, not not Blueface BM. No, that's too far, right? But yeah, so when I'm promised, and I saw that, I'm like, okay, okay. Dej Loaf is from Detroit. Okay, so yeah, yeah. Okay, they're both from the Midwest. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm telling you, and it's crazy. So I saw them walk across the parking lot, and then when they came back, they were with another mixed couple at home. So one of them gave you like Dej Loaf kind of vibes, and the other one gave you more Dreezy type of vibes. But both of them were with like these not 100% Poindexter white dudes. That I'm using Jared Kushner for a reason, because one of the white dudes gave you Jared Kushner vibes. Obviously, not as rich, not coming from the same pedigree, probably. And it was just like, oh, so y'all doing the swirling thing for real. Shout out to Chrissy, but Chrissy, I don't think this is gonna last, Chrissy. Right? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Right? No, Vic. Vix is hysterical. And Vic saying thank you for the super chat. And Indigo, once again, thank you for the super chat. And Vic says, give me a second. I'm in Jersey Z. They out here thinking they are Storm from the X-Men, lost in the myth that they are stars when they are scared lip. Scarred lip. Scarred. Oh, scar. Oh, not Scarlett the rapper. I'm not even. I don't really have much to dip. No, I don't really have much negative to say about the sister. You know, I like that. Like I like that rough hardcore, um, borderline Foxy Brown, borderline Little Kim, like rugged New York kind of sort of female DMX vibe that she gives. I respect it. I respect it. Can't do nothing with her, but as a rapper, yeah, right. Hysterical though. And Vic, you know, with the thing about that, first the storm. So when what's her name? What is her name? It's right there, Carrie Champ. When Carrie Champion did the interview on the Breakfast Club, I don't care what nobody said, and she had the with that grayish whitish hair. Oh, Mr. Ciego, I was like, you look, right, like that. Yeah, I could rock with it. I liked it. I liked it. I ain't gonna say too much. You know, you never know when Miss Z is listening, right? So it depends. Some women, yeah, but I know you're not literally saying it the way I'm saying it, but right. But the thinking that this is gonna work out for you, right? And Vincent says she does have a soft side that's tempting. Are you speaking about Scarlett? Right. Thank you. And better use is Carrie Champion disappointed me with the swirling ish, but ESPN has a type. Yeah. And that is why Professor Black Truth makes sure to remind y'all, stop calling it the media, call it the white media, because that's what it is. And since I was a child, I didn't even have to become an adult. No one told me this. This is not coming from my mother or my father. No. Z always knew, yeah, people rock with you because, you know, the way you speak and the way you dress, the type of things you say, cool. But understand it's also because you seem less threatening. And when you see from Stephen A. Smith to Malika Andrews to Carrie Champion to Sage Steele, and you see Um, 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 yeah. When you see these people, when you see who these sports shows are choosing, and then the type of things they say, what's the name of the African brother that was he a football player once upon a time? I can't remember, but he said some weird stuff, and then he got checked, and he was like, "Oh, but I'm still black," right? What is the name of him? Was he a football player? I don't remember. I want to say he's Nigerian descent, maybe, possibly, right? He said something kind of off, right? And when you see who's chosen, yes, talent. I say this all the time. Did you work hard? Probably. Are you talented? Probably. Right? Are you deserving of that position? Probably. Is that the reason they chose you? No. Sorry, people. Most of the time, no. They chose you because you're supposed to keep the Negroes in line. Go ask Stephen A. Smith. They chose you because they know you're going to speak reckless about black people. And let me see if that's who I'm speaking of. Give me a second. Okay, give me a second, y'all, because I'm going to see if we're talking about the same person. Give me a second. Yep, that's the brother. Thank you, y'all. Yep, that's him. That's him. Emmanuel Acho. Yep, that's him. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Babylon X, thank you. Right? And thank you, Hitflix. That's the brother. Yeah, that's him. Ishmael, yeah, that's him. That's him. Right? So I want people to understand, like, Mr. Z is not about insulting our brothers that's in certain positions, black women that are in certain positions. Y'all worked hard to get to where y'all are. I am not about saying that you didn't work hard, that you didn't do the right things, but let's be clear. Look at the position you're in, and look at when you get the claps, and look at when they discipline you. You get to talk crazy about black people, especially black men, under the guise of constructive criticism and tough love. And you could talk all type of reckless about black people, namely black men, as long as you frame it like it's tough love. Look how crazy they let Steve Harvey, better yet, speak about black people, black men, because all you got to do is frame it like it's some tough love crap. So are you where you are because you're talented and because you worked hard, or are you where you are because them white folks know you're not going to kick up dust and you're going to play your role when it's time to put a foot in black people's rear end? When it's time to wag your finger at black people, namely black men. They know you're not going to be on no pro-black thing. They know you're not going to snap off on your white coworker. If we're going to talk about company culture, if America's anti-black, is the company not anti-black? Is it not in America? Is ESPN not anti-black? Why? Because they have black hosts? Because they paying y'all a couple $1,000,000 a year? So they're not anti-black because they paying y'all a couple of $1,000,000 a year? Huh? What is 2, 3, 5, 10, $20 million a year? What does that mean to a $1 billion company? Number one. Number two, what does that mean if I'm paying you $20 million, but your job is to entertain the Negroes, distract the Negroes, and discipline the Negroes? I'll easily spend $20 million if you distract and discipline the Negroes. $20 million ain't nothing. Huh. What is $20, $30 million a year, Stephen A. Smith? What does that mean? That's nothing. Wait a minute. Wasn't Kayla Nicole, is this your sports announcer too, or something like that? Boy, y'all sports channels, boy. I see y'all. And this is why Black Uru said, why in the F does Disney own ESPN? This is why he said that. Right? Fox Sports and ESPN and all these other, all right. I want to say, and Ishmael says, "Oh God, no, was she?" I'm not sure. I'm gonna let one of the other brothers say it. What did Kayla Nicole do again? Was she not like a sports announcer or something like that? A sports pundit or something? Am I mistaken? Exactly, and they go tough love. Yeah, you defecate on black people, namely black men. You insult them. You do the bidding of the white team owners and the white coaches and the and ESPN and all the white viewers and whatever. You do the type of things they wish they could do or say to black people, and you just couch it under tough love, right? And as long as you couch it under tough love, right? Or constructive criticism, you get a pass. You could talk all type of reckless to black people, especially as another black person, right? Especially if you going in, if one of these NFL players or NBA players stepped out of line just a little bit, you bring in Stephen A. Smith, he wag his finger at him for all the white viewers and the coaches and the team owners, and white folks feel good. Look, I'm not the one who's saying it. Stephen A. Smith did it. That's the same thing Patrick Bet David did, right? I can't remember what was it the 20 I want to say the 2020 election. Him and Adam or some they were talking about the 2020 election and somebody said something about black people and whatever and he was like no, even Steve no sorry it wasn't Steve it was even Charles Barkley even Charles Barkley said Charles Barkley, you mean the mushmouth dummy? You're basing what black people, what's best for black people, off of what Charles Barkley, who he told you he's not a role model. Y'all forgot the commercial. You're basing what black people are saying. So once again, this is why they have people like that. So 85%, 90% of black people could be over here saying one thing, and y'all will pick the 10, 15% over there that's mainly paid for by you. Y'all put them in those positions so that you can use them for this very reason. So you could be like, well, look, not all black people believe this. And it just so happened that the 15% of black people that we give the money to say these type of things, look, they don't believe it. Racism's not real. I didn't say it. It's not about white supremacy. It's black people and their discipline. I didn't say it. Charles Barkley said it. I didn't say it. Stephen A. Smith did it. I didn't say it. Malika Andrews said it. Right? She's just a journalist doing her job. And these people, the way they're going at journalists, talking about Gayle King. Ain't that right, Joe Scarborough? She's a journalist. She's doing her job. And Vincent says, wasn't he an idiot and a goofy in Space Jam? You mean real life? Man, they had the man reading off of a teleprompter, and they pretty much made him read that he's a dumbass. Right? They pretty much made the man read that he's a dumbass. I'm not saying that any one of us couldn't fall for, one of these white boy pranks where they make fun of you or even get you to make fun of yourself. It happens. But this is like something consistent with Charles Barkley. And then you got people like Patrick, and I think I'm saying his name correctly. No, 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 that's not true because Charles Barkley, because he's a real cultural critic, isn't he? Get out of here. Because he's a scholar. And what happened when you had a conversation, Patrick? You let Roland Martin put his foot in your ass. Roland Martin. I gotta find that clip. Roland Martin got you to pretty much say what we all knew with by the way, the same thing Ben Shapiro did when he had that conversation with Ezra Klein. When y'all get y'all back put to the wall when it comes to talking about black people, we're just saying, well, why should we teach them that anyway? You want to know why DeSantis is trying to soften up slavery and Jim Crow in those history books? Translation: um, we need to teach the Negroes that slavery wasn't that bad, Jim Crow wasn't that bad, and it actually helped them. Racism, white supremacy is not a real thing. It's a figment of their imagination. They're using excuses. When Roland Martin put Patrick's back to the wall about the house prices and how black people and redlining and black people and having prices of homes when they own it and they're trying to sell it, having the prices artificially bought down, and when they're trying to buy a home, have the prices artificially raised. And he was what when he finally put his back to the wall, when he finally showed him the data, because they were debating about that part for like what, a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes. When he finally put his back to the wall, finally got him to admit, okay, yeah, this is a thing. You're like, well, why would you want to teach that to black people anyway? Why would you want to teach black people that the system is not the same for them? Why? Understand what you're really saying. Ooh, I should have been there. You're saying it's better for black people to be naive. It's better if they're naive and they think that the system's going to work for them the same way it works for everyone else that's not black. Huh? Same thing with Ezra Klein and Ben Shapiro. When Ben Shapiro put his back to the wall, when Ezra Klein put Ben Shapiro back to the wall, Ben Shapiro came out with essentially, I don't want to teach black kids that stuff. How does it benefit them if we teach them that stuff? Essentially, the victim mentality talk. I promise you. By the way, Uzi, you're about to say it. It's the same kind of thing that happened when Yvette Carnell debated Boyce Watkins on his own channel. This is years ago. This is when she was still kind of working for him, when she still was rocking the dreads. Right? Classic socialist versus capitalist type of debate. Classic, but black. And when I don't agree with Yvette on everything, y'all know I don't agree with Boyce on everything. But when Yvette hit Boyce upside the head with the real, not that hopeful BS numbers, when she finally hit him upside the head with black people's real reality, he started talking about hope. Sir, you are a finance professor. Why are you talking about hope? Hope. Finally put your back to the wall and you start talking that hope faith thing. Kind of like how you were talking when Dr. Jared Ball and you went at it a few months ago. Oops. So black people, they be playing in your faces. The white people and the black people are playing in your faces about your economic reality. I could tie that all the way back to the original topic with the black women. Black women talk like this and talk this reckless and crazy because they're delusional about even their own real life. Imagine living a life and you're delusional about your own life and where you stand in your own life, your own reality. That's why we call it delusion. That's why I said they're so delusional. They're in straitjackets. Good point, Better You. Better You says, I mean, all Obama gave Negroes was hope. Why should they give more? Good point. Right. So, to a certain extent, I get it. I still agree with the Roger report where you got to be held accountable for what you believe in. But I get it. The whole society is trying to encourage black women to be delusional, right? The whole society is attempting to get, well, black people actually in general, and we're going to be honest, black people in general. It's crazy because when you really think about it, who's more invested in the system? Is it black men or is it black women? Oh, uh-oh. Get out of here, Z. Who's really invested in the system? Is it black men or black women? Y'all better start thinking about this differently, Dr. Umar Johnson, FD Signifier, Alvin, and the like, T1J, Conscious Lee. Y'all better start thinking about this differently. And once again, thank you for the super chat, Vic. Thank you for the super chat. Right? And we know them sisters ain't got it all together in Jersey. We know. Right? Who's more invested? Because Dr. Umar Johnson, if you let black women talk long enough, I'm not talking about that first 5 and 10 minutes when they doing the woe is me, victim of black men, daddy issues, my ex-husband used to hit on me, my ex-boyfriends used to drive my car and leave it with no gas and they never had a job, and no. Let them talk long enough, and who wants to settle with average anyway? Who wants to be with average anyway? Then all the dusty Negroes talk come out. He's not on my level comes out. I'm better than him comes out. Right? Who's really invested in Hey, Paris Milan told y'all we live in a capitalist society. Chrissy told you capitalism ain't going nowhere. Huh? Real Talk with Yeti said, I want to be a captain of leisure. What's the incentive? I'm just saying. Huh? Lexus Exodus calling us all type of dusties and nignogs. Paris Milan calling us on top of nakers. Cynthia G said, yes, I want to destroy the black community. What have black men built? America. What have black men built? Are y'all sure that black men are the one that's really invested in this? Are you sure it ain't black women? Are you sure? Are you sure? Oliver, that's hysterical. All of us as black women are paying mercenaries of the state. Keisha water. Not black water, Keisha water. Hysterical. Thank you. And Jake says, I don't rock with Roland like that. Me neither, like that. But he did put PBD in his place, didn't he? Because he was fighting it. Patrick was fighting it. You gotta remember, you're talking about like I think Naaman knows his background a little bit more than I. Well, actually, he does know it better than I do. But I always thought he was straight Persian descent, but apparently not. But you have this immigrant who is debating a black man about black people's reality, like black people's real reality. And essentially what he's saying is, I know you better than you know yourself. And it sounds like y'all using a bunch of excuses over there. And I came as an immigrant, and that sounds nice. And Roland Martin had the numbers for his ass, and I'm happy he said what he said at the end. Essentially, what's the point of black people knowing that? And it goes right back to victim mentality. You're promoting victim mentality because it's better if they're delusional. And that's all the system's trying to do with black people now. Wipe away the oppression, because this wealth gap that's about to become a chasm as white boomers start passing that money down to their Gen Z and their Gen Z and millennial children. That wealth gap is going to become a chasm. And so now they're trying to wipe the history so that your children and grandchildren can look at you like you the problem, not the system, not anti-blackness. Especially your black children that went to mixed schools and maybe even predominantly white schools, they're really going to be looking at y'all like y'all the issue. Because what are they going to be taught in schools? And BGS says, and he's right. Look at how some of the brothers talk here in the Black Minister when we start talking black stuff. I don't want to hear that. Excuses. And they'll tell you victim mentality. All right. It sounds nice saying it to other black people. Wait until them white boys and them Latinos and Asians start throwing that in your face. It sounds nice you as a brother saying that to another brother because you want to shut him up. All right. And I want to be very clear what I'm saying. When the white folks and the Latinos and the Asians are blocking you from opportunities, are sabotaging you, are in your way, are doing and saying racist, anti-black things, and they tell you you're using victim mentality and it's not about race. And guess what? Because of how this court system is set up now, and definitely the Supreme Court now, you can't even bring it to court. Wow. Because the bar to prove that these things were real was high as hell before the fact. Now, practically impossible. Right? So I'm just saying. But tying back, about to finish out. And Samuel Isaac says, "You cooking today, Z? Thank you, brother. Thank you. Right? And ending out, I covered this today because I think it's important. It wasn't just to bring up on some pop culture rage thing. Quite frankly, I don't want you brothers to be mad, especially you younger brothers under the age of 30. Don't be mad. Like I said, find solace in the fact that you are building towards something for you and whatever woman decides to be on your program in the future, and for your future children, and know that these women exist. This is the highlight of their day. Take from what BGS is. This is the highlight of their day. Turning men down, namely black men down. That's the highlight. That's the ego boost for them. Insulting and belittling men in general, black men specifically, that's the ego boost. Y'all give Mr. Z 1 second. All right, and we're back. Yeah, no, so yeah. So at the end of the day, I don't want y'all to feel a certain way towards these. We know who these people are. We've met them. We've met them in real life. Women like this in real life. Dear brothers, don't take this any worse than it need to be taken. Um, I get it. I get the urge to want to rage and how can you help your height and the brother just came from a tailgate and et cetera, and look how they discriminate against blue collar brothers and brothers from the South and Alabama. Yeah, I poked fun at that, but look, man, y'all already know that this is the highlight of their day. Who would they be if they can't look down and talk down to a black man or black men, right? Who would they be? They got to feel like they're better than you. They have to. They have to. That's them, right? And I think the young lady with the more straightened hair, when she said, "So you're saying you can't afford me?" Like that's his man. If these people are not listeners and subscribers to some type of level up black women in luxury type of content, I would be surprised. Train tracks, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, I would be super surprised if they're not subscribers to some type of level up content. Right? So you're saying you can't afford me? Yawn. She really said that as a flex. That was her response to her saying, yeah, you're not tall enough. And he said, well, you kind of sexy, you got sex appeal, and that's all I see you as, essentially is what he was saying. Selling a pipe. And she heard what he was saying. She understood what he was saying. And her response, so you're saying that you can afford me. Oh, yawn. That's the flex. That's the response. Translation, you broke, dusty Negro. If you can afford me, you should have said it. You should have just said that. This is women's new flex, especially black women. This is black women's new flex. New old flex. They've been trying to say it. You ain't on my level. Right? And all you young brothers, if you never heard the songs in the description, especially the Trillville joint, that used to be the little bop back in the day. Right? Wait, I didn't hear her say that. Demetrius said the lady literally said sprinkle, sprinkle. I didn't hear her say that. Oh, you done messed up, Demetrius. Okay, so we got another 10 minutes. Demetrius, tell me you lying. I didn't hear her say that. Oh, yeah, look. Demetrius, tell me you lying. Tell me you're lying. Right? Cheryl said it too. Surprised no one said sprinkle, sprinkle, but Demetrius said the lady literally said sprinkle, sprinkle. Which one of them said sprinkle, sprinkle? Exactly. Jake said, Demetrius, timestamp it. Which one of them said sprinkle, sprinkle? Wow. And I said it. Didn't I say that to FD during the interview? The second one? Y'all think this is a joke. Y'all think the internet's just the internet. It's not a joke, man. That type of Chrissy and Paris and Yanni and Shira 7 and Princella talk, it's not a joke. They're all over TikTok and YouTube. Tanya TKO, they're all over. Right? Bowser, Crystalline Karazin. Their type of rhetoric is all over. And by the way, as a matter of fact, who said, I was reading, was it reading a comment or is it that I heard it? Where someone said, yeah, what about black boys? And a black woman, let me say it again. A black woman said, why should we care about you and your sons? I think I read it. She said, why should we care about you and your sons? We worked for everything we got. Yeah, it was a comment I read. It was a comment I read. Yes. Recently, too. This comment is recent. Why should, listen to what Mr. Z just said. A black woman said to a black man, why should we care about you and your sons? Not our sons. Not our sons. Why should we care about you and your sons? So, dear FD signifier, as I said before, black women and their issues with black men affect black boys. Their resentment at black men for not choosing their mean, snarky asses. These asshole black women take it off on the boys. Homegirl said, why should I care about you and your son? Why should I care about black men and your sons, not our sons? Y'all keep on thinking this is little social media beef and okay. Huh? You got black women randomly saying sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Think what they're watching and what they're saying on social media is just, it's nothing. Right? That's frightening. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And Demetrius says, Jake, I think it was somewhere around the middle mark. Wow. Wow. Hey, Demetrius, if you right. Wow. I did not catch that. I did not catch that. Y'all keep thinking this is just the internet, social media. I'm not talking to you brothers that's here. I'm speaking about the FD signifiers and whatnot. Right? FD, I'm just reading this comment, and Jake said, I'm gonna say it, FD gonna flip once his sons get hit by the gyno wave of violence. That's if his sons even date black women. We'll see. Maybe, but we'll see. We'll see. He said he got a brother. I think his brother is going through it right now with child support and a crazy baby mama. Right? FD, no, we're not lying, y'all. FD's goal is to get us to ignore the sexism. He's playing it down. He's playing down the anti-black misandry coming from black women because he and Van Lathan and Alvin and Eddie and Josh and Conscious Lee and Professor Odie, they have convinced because they know what we're saying is not real. I mean, excuse me, they know what we're saying is real. They just want us to quiet down. And what they're saying to us is, it's not that serious. You're exaggerating. That's the thing. You're exaggerating it. You're blowing it out of proportion. And trust me, if you were to ignore this, it would go away. It would go away, or it's so minute, it's so small, it's so tiny that if you would just ignore it, if you would ignore that these women wouldn't really have nowhere to go. And let's be honest, for FD, he's really, for FD is particularly, is saying that the women sound the way they do as a response to us. And if we would just shut up, then they wouldn't have anything. Right? But understand, they know we're not lying. If you're a black man born and raised in America, you've heard these type of, and FD is such a front. I didn't hear these type of things growing up. But I did, and little Bill did. But you didn't hear it? Stop, man. You're a black man out of Chicago, and you didn't hear this, FD? Wait, you're out of Chicago, and you're in Atlanta now, and you didn't stop. Stop. Right? When Ebony K. Williams said, "Stop, cap," not stop the cap. Stop, cap. Stop. Not even STOOP. STAWP. Stop. Right? Let's just be clear. You believe that black women sit in a morally superior position to black men, and even if they step out of line, they're only stepping out of line because black men done messed up that much, and they're responding to us. Right? And that's essentially the energy that Alvin was giving us with the brick face situation. Yeah, I hear y'all, but right? And they admit that they're playing it down. That's all. That's all. At least Alvin said it. F what y'all brothers talking about. F it. I'm over here with the black women, even if they lie, even if they get caught lying, right? Even if they're misandrous, right? I'm over here. I've chosen my side, right? Shout out to Van Lathan, even with the way he tried to frame that conversation on Olay's channel. Have black men hurt black women, or he said hurt or harmed, hurt black women, harm black women so much? Brother, it's not about harming or hurting them. The black community is a matriarchy if you want to be kind, a gynocracy if you want to be accurate. Period, point blank. It's okay if Rhoda lied. It doesn't matter. To them, it doesn't matter if Rhoda lied. Same thing Dr. Umar Johnson said. I stick by my statement because black men need to no black men don't need to defend women like Rhoda. Get out of here. Y'all better cut this out. Hey, passport bros and SYSBM. I get it. I get it. Detroit said he's scared of God. Right? Man. Jake said, come at me, FD. I ain't scared of you. Right? As you know, as you know, look, the brother asked me not to mention his kids. I hear him. He purposely tried to pretend like he didn't know what I was saying. Then he goes, well, the black girls are dealing with the hypocrisy too. But it took everything in me not to say F that. They have representation. Black men and boys don't. That's your job, FD. Your job is not to discipline us and come over here and wag your finger at us. Your job is to defend us and talk up for us, not to try to get us to soften our stance on a-hole, angry, bitter black women that are raising bitter little girls that your sons are going to be interacting with. Whose hypocrisy is going to hurt more? Uh-oh. Who has access to the kids, FD? The women or the men? Uh-oh. Who raises the kids, FD? The women or the men? Yikes. Who's the one that's being told to shut up and accept the hierarchy, FD? Huh? Trail said, insufferable jerks. Bro, that smug face that Alvin was giving the whole time they were talking. For those of you that don't know who Alvin is, that's the chubbier brother off of Waving the Red Flag. Bruh, that smug, the smug on Alvin's face, and that's how he speaks generally. It reminds me of the brother with the dreads off of Dead End Hip Hop, right? Compassionate says FD care more about the bag than black boys, and he's gonna have to live with that. Yeah, I think the brother have a conscience. I think that's gonna eat up at him. I do. Passport OG says FD is a businessman. He knows he's on borrowed time. Yeah, he's made statements that speak to. How am I phrasing this? He's made statements that speak to him knowing that he might be on borrowed time, number one, and that he's not going to mess up the bag prematurely. Right? And he just straight up said it like, yeah, I'm not going to say anything about the women first because it's not my place. Okay, okay. If a black man tells me it's not his place to critique black women, fine. I disagree, but fine. But what else did he say? He said, just in case, and I'm paraphrasing, just in case a brother listens to that 1 minute that I critique, because he said, essentially he was saying his response to me about me saying, y'all don't even spend a minute critiquing women, black women. Y'all would spend 10 minutes critiquing the men and y'all don't even say anything about black women's behavior. And his response to me was, yeah, just in case the one brother that comes onto my channel and hears that 1 minute, oh, so you're admitting that you have your thumb on the scales. And so the question always then becomes to Dr. Umar Johnson, to FD Signifier, to Alvin, to Eddie, to Josh, to T1J, to Professor Odie, to Conscious Lee, to Foreign Man in a Foreign Land. What are black men supposed to do with that? If everyone is critiquing men, if everyone is saying, you're the problem, your behavior, you're sexist, colorist, texturist, featurist. You don't want to build for black women and build with black women, but you're too capitalist, you're too aspirational. Like, it's all type of weird conflicting information. All of it just to say, yeah, black men, you ain't ish. If everyone's saying that to black men and boys, What the hell are black men and boys supposed to do with no one saying, hey, okay, black women, we sound crazy? Like I said, every once in a while, the most we get is maybe a critique from. Every once in a while, the most we get is a critique from Julesy, right? From Julesy, from maybe T Noir, from who else? Bowser might say something here or there. That's the best we get, right? So, yeah, y'all. I think I might be hitting a bit of a dead zone. I might be borging. If I'm not borging, I probably will be in a minute. So, y'all bear with me, right? Thank you, Demetrius. And even then, Julesy just goes surface level. But of course, and I agree with you, by the way. So if this is where the black community is going to be, then don't say anything to black men that are passport bros or SYSBM or level up. Don't say anything to them. Don't say anything to them because you have admitted through action that black men are supposed to bow and beg and scrape, excuse me, black at the feet of black women. And what you're really chastising black men for is not doing it effectively enough and convincingly enough. Right? Wow. Huh. So on that note, you guys, okay, we will truly pause right here. We will pause right here. And let me see what this says. Yeah, we will pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all day. Um, right? Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. I think Dr. Thunder is streaming right now, so y'all go check him out. The Raj Report should be coming on in a little bit. Yeah, so we spoke about this because, like I said, y'all brothers don't get too upset about this. I understand it's annoying. I understand black women keep on punching down on black men. I get it. Yes, it's annoying, but don't get too worked up about it. It's to be expected. They're not only raised and socialized like this, they like it. This is where their ego is. They got to look down on someone, right? So, like I said, find solace in the fact that your future is probably going to be brighter than theirs. You're going to end up with a woman and you're not going to have to pretend. Your happiness is easier to achieve than theirs because they're delusional and they will never be happy. They won't even be content. Right? So find solace in that. All the mean, snarky ones, find solace in the fact that the dudes that's gonna be messing with them are just gonna be doing that, messing with them. They have let you know what, and you wouldn't want to be one of their boyfriends anyway. Listen to how they speak. You wouldn't want to be one of their boyfriends anyway. Homegirl that said, "Oh, you can't." So you're just saying you can't afford me? You don't want to be her boyfriend. You don't want to be her husband. The other one that was making fun of Alabama, and I did research it. You don't want to be if like Demetrius was saying, the one that said sprinkle sprinkle. Y'all don't want to end up with women like that, bro. Where they get all of their wisdom from these quote unquote social media sages, these female sage. Stop. So be glad that the women are so arrogant that they can't even hide their contempt. That's one good thing that millennials and Gen Z, particularly Gen Z men, have that older Xers and boomers didn't. These women don't even have the inclination to pretend. The contempt is opening in your face. Boomers got sideswiped. Extras were like, did we just see that? And they got hit too. For us millennials, younger millennials, and particularly in Gen Z, they're not even pretending with us. They're not even pretending. So that's actually one of the bright things, one of the good things. Thank you, Trell. Let them speak. Let them talk. You let them talk long enough, and they're going to tell you who they are. The one good thing about being a millennial, and definitely for you Gen Z, let the women talk. When you go on dates with them, listen, that little $40, $50, $60 you're going to spend it. That $100 you're going to spend, I'm going to tell y'all right, I'm going to say different than everybody else. If she want to do a foodie call for if you got it for $75, if she hits you up for $75, $80, trust me, it's worth it to realize she ain't the one. Spend it. If you have it, spend it. It's worth it. Let her talk. Let her talk. That $80 you spent on that first date will be well worth it when you're like, yep, dodged a bullet there. Trell said Gen X got T-boned by 18-wheeler on top of that, Trell. Right? Demetrius said, so basically Gen Z got snuck. No, what I'm saying is the women are so overt with Gen Z that y'all are not getting stuck. I'm saying boomers got snuck. Boomers got snuck. Like Trell said, Gen X got T-boned. Millennials, we caught a little hit on the chin. Right? We got hit too. Now, our lifestyles, generation by generation, have degraded. But I'm saying when it comes to the women, right? But for Gen Z men and for younger millennial men, black men, the women are so overt. Take this as a learning, as a lesson. Take what you're watching, what you're seeing in person in real life and on social media. These people, the FDs, act like some of what we're seeing is not man on the street, women on the street interviews on campuses. You see how the women are speaking on college campuses. So, okay, we're watching this on the internet, on social media, but this is real life. We saw the white girl interviewing those different women on the campus saying, oh yeah, I need a man that make $150, $500, $250,000. These are 18, 21, 22, 23-year-olds. Thank you, Dut. And Dut says, us Gen Z men already know what it is. That's my point. That's my point. Right? So y'all, take care. Don't get too worked up. Y'all know what it is. Be careful. It's not all women. That's why you're supposed to be vigilant. That's why you're supposed to vet. It's not even all black women. That's why you're supposed to be vigilant. That's why you're supposed to be vet. But when you see the signs, don't ignore them. Don't pretend like you don't see them just because you want to smash. I get it. Some of them still look super attractive. Sometimes you were horny. Sometimes you went through a dry spell. I get it. But you got to be careful. Some of these sisters are, look, man, we're black men. The curves be saying right. For those of us that like women the more svelte, she's cute, she's slim. For those of us that like curves, she got the curves. You like short hair, long hair, she got the look you like. I get it. It's tempting. Go on that first date. I would tell y'all to rub one out before you go on the date. Tell you the truth. Put your peeing on ice. It's gonna help just a smidgen. It ain't gonna be the. And listen to her talk and let her talk long enough. See how she interacts with the waiters. See what she orders. When she speaks about her friends and her aspirations and her lifestyle and the type of money she spent, it's gonna give you a good insight to what you're dealing with. Right? Exactly, Trill. But that ass though. Right. And on that note, let me pause right here, truly. I'll lecture forever. Right? Y'all listen to Uncle Z now. But y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Like I said, love, peace, and chicken grease. We'll pause right here. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out. And y'all watch out for women like the women off of Pop the Balloon Show. All right.